Yo, what's up guys? Today we are reacting to this video, which is US veteran speaks out on life in Russia after sanctions. This is from the channel Real Reporter, so if you guys want to check the video out, the link is in the description. This was a recommendation, so let me check it out. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know if you want me to react to more content like this. Let's go.
I'm gonna be honest, I think that nothing has changed since I've been here. I don't see it. The gas prices haven't gone up, but I know that's by law, but everything in the stores are there. The people seem happy.
No sanctions.
But I know that there's a limit to how much a human can take. And if they reach that limit, then they will protest.
Well, here's the backstory. A couple of months ago, someone left a comment under my video saying he's an American war veteran who'd found a new home in Irkutsk region, Siberia. There's always been many expats living in Moscow, but deep Siberia, that's rare. So I checked out the guy's channel. It turned out he's an ex-Marine who'd fought in Afghanistan, and he moved to Russia not long ago after the war in Ukraine started. So I traveled all the way to the remote Siberian village where Daniel Castellon settled in to see who he really is and what on earth he's doing in the middle of nowhere, Russia.
Bro, you gotta respect this man for traveling the world just to make like a video, right? Of course, that's his real reporter profession, but man, you know, this man is going to lengths just to figure out what the truth is behind this US veteran. And it's interesting that he said nothing has changed. I'm interested to seeing if that's true. You guys, if you're from Russia, let me know in the comments, has anything changed after the sanctions? What is life like in Russia right now? I saw a video saying that Coca-Cola left Russia, but they actually have a parent company where they're providing the same quality Coca-Cola. I don't know, something like that. But hey, let me know your thoughts. Let's keep watching.
Picture this. It's April 2022, and the biggest military conflict in Europe since World War II has just erupted. The US tells all its citizens in Russia to immediately leave the country because supposedly...
Did that dude have green hair?
The US tells all its citizens in Russia to immediately leave the country because supposedly the world is once again on the brink of nuclear Armageddon. Meanwhile, an undaunted American traveler, Daniel Castellon, gets a one-way ticket to Russia. He settles in a small, unassuming village in Siberia and becomes an unlikely witness to some of the country's most dramatic events: sanctions, war, and mobilization.
When the mobilization started, you would be able to see tanks and raw material heading towards the west.
He does sound Latino, though. I'm kind of trying to figure out. You guys can help me in the comments. Are Americans being targeted in Russia, or are you guys like happy with Americans living there? Because in his case, he can say I'm American, but he can also say, yeah, but I'm also Latino, right? So but I'm sure he is 100% American. He is a US veteran. But what I'm saying is that he does have a safety net where he can, well, I'm just saying he sounds Latino, right? In any case, that doesn't mean anything.
Daniel, a foreigner who previously served in the US Marine...
A foreigner, he just mentioned. Okay, wait a second, let's go back.
Heading towards the west.
Daniel, a foreigner who previously served in the US Marine Corps, actually blends in well on the frontier of rural Russia. His background gives him a unique perspective on how things have been playing out in Russia over the past year.
I have no side in this, even though I live in Russia, by the way. I just don't see Ukraine winning.
I think at this point, Ukraine is not trying to win, they're just trying to survive, right? They're defending their borders. That's what I get from all of this.
Right now we're on the outskirts of Sludanka. We're just gonna walk down an average street in Sludanka and show you how the houses look. For me, this is one of the most beautiful looks. The windows is signature of Russian houses. And the people living here, I think it's very rural, as in people work in the mines, people work in the train station. It's a very kind of pass-by sort of town. You have that small town feeling, bakeries, small cafes, small shops. It's that kind of town.
I like the way he's talking about the town. You can see it in his eyes and his tone of voice that he really has a fondness, a kind feeling towards this town. Forgive me. It's his home, you know. He considers it his home, even though he has been living there for not so long, right? So I like that. I like the fact that he's in love with this simple town, what he's describing as a small town.
We have a KFC here. Now in this KFC you might find a different menu, but nonetheless we have a KFC. King Food Sludanka. I'm gonna be honest, I think that nothing has changed since I've been here. I don't see it. The gas prices haven't gone up, but I know that's by law, but everything in the stores are there.
That's good to hear, you know.
What you don't see that's on the shelf, it's actually hidden right behind you.
Because the people, they don't deserve to pay for, you know, the decisions that the governments are taking. And, you know, it's the worst thing is for people to go through hunger, you know, both in Russia and the Ukraine. Nobody should be hungry. That's you know, that's the basic human rights, to have food, and that's the basic survival. So, you know, it's good to see that, you know, the shops are full and people can eat whatever they want, right?
It's world famous around the world.
Coca-Cola. It's there.
Coca-Cola finds its way back into the Russian market no matter what.
No matter what.
It's also interesting that they kind of keep it low, you know, don't advertise it, you know, as much.
Yeah, it's on the floor. If you want it, you know where to find it. It's kind of like this, like you're walking and you scoop it up and you buy it. It's very low key. The people seem happy. There hasn't been any. If things were really bad, I know protests are illegal, but they would be protesting. If life was miserable, humans can only take so much. There's been plenty of demonstrations in Russia that have been shut down, but at least they go try because they're fed up or they just have different views. But in my town, nobody has protested. Everything has been calm. Here's the fruits. Look at how much fruits they have. Mandarins, all types of apples. His store has always had everything, even through the sanctions. Tell him I've seen the store has been full, and I've lived here for a year, and every time we come, it's full. And has it affected him at all?
No sanctions.
Хорошо.
Я политикой не занимался.
California exports a lot of avocados from Mexico, and not a lot of countries can grow avocados. So seeing it here in his store so fresh, it blows my mind.
Где нас с нами
That
дружат?
is...
Чили, Калифорния, Аргентина.
Калифорния с нами не дружит.
А откуда конференция? Написано производство, как его, Белоруссия. Когда в Беларуси конференция, они всегда были калифорнийские. Наш нефть и газ будет брать, но через третьи страны, да? Возьмет
my
Китай,
goodness.
продаст, не знаю, Ирану через это Каспийское море или там что-то, а Иран через Турцию. Ну, я примерно говорю. Все равно это газ, нефть выйдет.
There's a whole system. There's a whole system. But my concern is, I hope they're not doing anything illegal. What are the laws right now in Russia? Because I know that the companies are being like, they're like Coca-Cola said that they weren't going to provide anything for Russia anymore, and Russia is being sanctioned. But what is Russia saying? Is Russia, the government, saying, look, you cannot have these companies, Or are they saying, look, if you want to have these companies, you can? Because then that would be a little bit, that would be like smuggling Coca-Cola into the country. Okay. Oh, okay. So, guys, I don't have any sides like this American said. It's just the fact that this thing is happening right now, and Russia is being sanctioned. I have a lot of Russians watching my channel, and a lot of my videos are blocked in Russia as well. I just wish that there was peace. That's my take. I have not dug deep into what's happening, but and the comments, there are people from both sides, you know. I have people from Ukraine watching as well, so there are people from both sides, and from what I see, most people, they just want to get along, you know. They consider themselves brothers. Ukraine and Russia, they're brothers, you know. They have always been people of the same kind. So people that have families, there are children that have a Russian father and a Ukrainian mother, you know, or a Ukrainian father and a Russian mother. So it really doesn't, there isn't a conflict in the comments from what I read, although there are people from both extremes. But I think as a human being, we all want peace, right? And it's a good thing to see that people have access. They're not missing out in Russia, you know. The only thing that I am concerned about is that I don't want these small shops who are just trying to live their lives being targeted. Like the protests, there are some protests that people are not allowed to do, even if it's peaceful, right? In any case, let's keep watching.
Well, it wasn't my intention to stay, but my heart finally changed when I decided to stay because I am in a relationship.
Love is what kept him.
You can connect with someone in a place that's brand new to you.
Find someone who looks at you like she does. Look at him. That's nice. That's a good reason to stay in a country if you love someone. If you found your other half, your better half, yeah, you go through everything for them.
Connect with someone in a place that's brand new to you. This place has become my home.
Are they laying down on an icy lake which is cracked to the extreme? Bro, isn't that like, what? What if it breaks?
People react, you know, recognize you that you are from the United States.
The initial response is they get a little bit shocked. They even make a gesture like, "Oh, you're not Russian, you're American?"
See, that's what I was talking about in the beginning. Is it something that Americans like are not safe? I think they are, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand, or I don't know the I can't fathom the whole situation that's going on right now. The only thing I know is what we receive from the media, but it's interesting to read what you guys are saying.
I've had people be angry, I've had people be very happy, I've had people being shocked, and some people just don't really care. When I lived in Irkutsk, I was accused of being a spy. The man spoke English and he said, "Why are you in Irkutsk, so far into Russia?" And it seemed a little bit strange to them that I was so deep into Russia.
Wow. After this video, he's actually gonna be like on the spotlight, right?
Huh?
Where are you from?
Los Angeles, California.
Калифорния. Как нравится вам Слядянки?
You like it here?
I love it.
I thought he spoke fluent Russian. He doesn't.
I love it. Tell her that I love it.
How long you been living here?
Чем занимается?
Yeah, 10 months, 10 months.
10 месяцев. And what do you do for a living?
Oh, well, I'm a military retired veteran, I guess. That's what I am, but I'm trying to get my citizenship to work. I don't think she would understand.
У него пенсия от американского правительства уже есть, он служил в армии, но он хочет получить гражданство и работать.
Россия.
Да.
Yeah.
Понятно. Ну, Слядянка хороша, воздух очень хороший.
Aww. She's such a very kind local. That's
Before
heartwarming.
joining the military, Daniel had a troubled childhood as he grew up in one of Los Angeles' toughest suburbs, San Fernando Valley.
Growing up in a town like Silmar, it's very heavy with Mexicans. You grow up in the gangs and stuff like this. I think to other countries it's taboo, but for us it's very normal to join the organized crime.
An assault with a deadly weapon.
Shot in yesterday's crime spree. Caught the robbers in action.
Open the next one. Open the next one.
My family's an immigrant family, so I'm Mexican American. Nobody before me had gone to school, nobody before me had gone to the military. So I went to the recruiting office very young at 18, and I signed up to join the Marine Corps. 2010 and 2011, I was in Afghanistan. Just doing what I just said, looking for landmines and fighting. Every day you have to go out and see how far you can get until the Taliban shoot at you. And what my job was, go in the front of everybody and look for contact.
Whoa. He was kind of like the do we call it the sitting duck, right?
And it was at night. A lot of Taliban came and they started lighting the fields around us on fire. And then they started shooting mortars into our position. And you know, we have machine gun positions outside. Start fighting them back.
I got one of them.
I traveled with a flag that my mom gave me, and it survived that battle that we were in. It wasn't the toughest day, but it was certainly one of the most meaningful days because my mom sent me to war with a flag, and I was intending to bring it back, and I did.
That's nice, man. That's nice. And then he moved to Russia. I wonder if he's gonna take his mom as well. Can you imagine? I wonder what he's gonna do, if he's gonna get married and stay in Russia. That's interesting because, you know, he's away from his family. It's something that there's a lot to think about, right?
Speaking from military experience, what can you tell me about how this current war between Russia and Ukraine is being fought?
I have no side in this, even though I live in Russia, by the way. I just don't see Ukraine winning. They're doing all the bad moves. The way that Ukraine has been fighting it in a conventional way, I thought was a very bad idea. You don't want to go conventional war against a powerhouse like Russia. So when they build trenches and all these things, building trenches, hiding in buildings, it's only a bloodbath against Ukraine because they're putting all their eggs in one basket. I don't think that the Americans want Ukraine to win because they're not giving them what they actually need.
Germany has now said yes to Leopard 2 tank deliveries.
It's very significant substantively on the battlefield.
America is preparing to follow suit and send its own Abrams tanks.
Tanks do nothing.
Bro, is he saying that? Well, that's kind of like a conspiracy, but I don't think he's saying that. I don't think he's saying that Americans are deliberately siding with Russia. I don't think he's saying that. I'm just saying, I think that what he's saying is Americans are being stingy and not providing the correct machinery that Ukraine needs, right? Huh. Okay, let's keep watching. Let's see where this goes.
Not against a superior air force and a superior artillery. Russia is the king. Artillery is king. You can give them all the tanks they want, but Ukraine's not supported by infantry, artillery, or an air force. All the good stuff is on the other side. NATO has to actually get involved in the war with boots on the ground if they want to win the war, which is talking about World War III.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Don't think about that, because that implicates a lot of things. That is World War III. That's what you're suggesting.
My predictions for the war on record, and even if you don't put this, but I think it'll take 3 to 4 major battles, and by major battles I mean a place like where they lose catastrophically from 50 to 100,000 men, where they really commit. Ukrainians like to do that. Apparently they like to fight to the last man.
What you mean apparently? he said he's not siding, but he has a smirk, a smile on his face when he talks about that. 100 men dying is not a, it's not a good thing. Yo, this is turning dark a little bit. And of course you're gonna fight to the last man. I mean, what else can you do? You're defending your country, right? I mean, Russians are gonna fight to their last man as well. It's only gonna stop when, you know, the leaders of each country reach an agreement, right? A treaty.
There's about 4 rails that were about to go under, and when the mobilization started, you would be able to see tanks and raw material heading towards the west. It happened around September, October for this town, and the people went in support for it. If there was anything against it, I'm guessing, like I said, a lot of people would have gone against it. And also, I see the same people in town. A lot of young men who hold jobs in stores, a lot of young men that never didn't leave. You would hear stories about people fleeing the country to Georgia, and we're very close to Mongolia. Dobry din, my friend. Can you ask him for me, because I fish shuka? Can you ask him where he catches the shuka?
А где вы эту щуку поймали?
Это не наша щука, это дальневосточная.
I fish all the time. I go outside and walk.
He was oh my, I'm sorry. He was actually asking the man where he fishes the shuka, right? The fish, so that he could go and fish it for himself. He was kind of like outsourcing the dude right there.
And I get lost on purpose. There's many forests behind the house. There's lakes. There's Baikal. I like to be with nature. I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm diagnosed for combat trauma.
PTSD.
So, in Los Angeles, there's too much noise. A lot of sudden noise can affect me. I get flashbacks. When I go out there, it's just me and the birds and whatever is in nature. I find peace. They live inside the water, a lot of bugs. If the lake is healthy, then it has bugs because other fish can eat this. I can go fishing anywhere in the world. If I would have left Los Angeles and driven somewhere, I could have found a lake, I could have found a river. But you don't choose the place you love.
That's a good thing to say.
When I traveled here to Siberia, to Irkutsk, and I found Slyudanka, it called to me. Growing up as a warrior and going to war, I feel closer to myself when I'm far away, and this is as far as I could go.
Bro, we can understand, you know, nature has a way of giving us peace and calm and, you know, just making our mind blank. So I can understand. He seems like a very nice guy.
In America, you feel that there's an overwhelming amount of institutions that are trying to assimilate you. You have to choose whether you're Republican, you have to choose if you're a Democrat, you have to choose if you support gay rights, you have to, everything is constantly being thrown at you in schools, at work. Every time there's a new movement about something at work, they tell you have to be considerate of this, you have to be agreeing with this.
That's something that is happening nowadays. You have to choose something, right? In fact, I don't think you have to choose anything at all, and I think you can change your mind also. I think, you know, you can listen to both sides, and you can, you know, you can, I don't know. I mean, I live in a country where equal rights is a big thing. And, you know, I think equal rights, I think everybody needs to be like comfortable where they are. without people trying to impose things on them. And well, basically that's my opinion, like, you know.
So what I find very satisfying is that in this place, whether people agree with it or not, there is not so much of that pressure coming down from the top. I haven't seen it. So if you ever wondered that if in Russia you were forced to have any ideology, well, here it is. Here's the proof that there's nobody's forcing you for anything. You could have a communist Soviet ice cream, or you could have a capitalist American ice cream.
Like, what's the difference? The different ingredients in a capitalist or a socialist ice cream. I find that amusing. Like, is there a difference in taste? In
which one will you pick?
Well, I have both at home, so I take both. I don't choose sides. I went to war, but there's a comfort that you get after you survive. Misery becomes a part of you. And I thought that I needed to come here to be miserable and feel happy, but I just became happy. I left to try to be miserable in Siberia to test myself. Like I said, I wanted to feel the cold, but I fell in love with the nature besides the woman. And you look for adventure to come back and say, look at my skin, look at my scars. I can tell you stories now. But now I don't feel like going back home and telling them about my battles here. Now this is my life. Usually the sun is going down by the time when it's the best fishing time. So I look at the mountains over there and I daydream about one day having kids, really, because I have no kids. And I want to learn all these things so I could teach them all my secret places. And so they can live a little bit more happy from the beginning, because I didn't have this until I was in my 30s. It might sound stupid, but I think about how happy I am.
I think that's the most important thing for a human being, is just to be happy. You know, I know that there are so many ambitious people who seek power, and, you know, but at the end of the day, I think you outgrow those things. You know, if you're happy with a simple life, then I think you have found peace. You know, growing up, I grew up in a very bad place. Very simple place. I didn't have things growing up. And the fact that I still had something to eat. And I mean, come on, I used to play with wired cars. You know those, I don't know if you even know, there's these cars that are made out of wires. But anyways, when we're kids, we play with anything, right? Like a stick for a child is entertaining. And if we have that simplicity of a child and everybody can live and coexist, you know, live together in peace and harmony, I think that's all we need. We all, you know, we just need to eat and be happy and breathe well. I don't know. These type of videos, they are heartwarming to see that, you know, he has found love and happiness in the most remote place possible. And at the same time, it puts life into perspective, right? But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your experiences. And I hope you guys are happy, even though, you know, the world is falling around you. And let's just hope that things will get back to normal. You know, I don't know. I just don't want to see people get hurt anymore from either side. And I just pray that there is no World War III, because, you know, that sucks. Anyways, guys, I'll see you on the next video. I've been coughing this whole, like, 2 weeks. But if you guys want me to make more videos of this kind, let me know in the comments. And that's it for today. Go check out The Real Reporter. The link is in the description. And yeah, he did a great job with this one, I guess. Okay, see you soon. Take care for now. Bye bye. Have a great week. Have a great day.